Okay, what's going on, YouTube? This is PNG Media News back at you with another interview. Today you're in luck because I'm going to be talking to Mz.Spitqueen. She's going to be telling us all about the adult entertainment industry and her foray into it. So stay tuned. This is going to be a good one. Okay, so Mz.Spitqueen, let's get right into it.
Yeah.
Tell us who you are. Tell us about yourself.
Okay. Well, hi, I'm Mz.Spitqueen. I used to be known as the head goddess a couple years back, but I had changed my name, so now I'm Mz.Spitqueen. I've been in the industry since 2016. I've been doing like on and off for a couple years now. I took a break, started working, but then I came back and I've been doing it for about like probably 3 years now consistently.
Okay, so how did you get those names? What do those names mean for some of us who may not know?
Okay. Well, it's funny because ex of mine, he's like, when it comes to like your skills and stuff, like you have a wet mouth, you know what you're doing. So basically, you can just add it together. You're a goddess, you're a girl, you'll make it work. Because I changed from head goddess because there's another girl who has the same name as me. So when you saw her, you would see me half of the time. So like make it like a mix up, change the name. There you go.
All right, so how did you get in the adult entertainment industry?
Okay. Well, I would say back in like 2016, I watched a documentary actually on the porn industry. I was like, okay, not that hard. I can try it. Like, so, we will record anyway. So why don't, record some clips, put it up, see how it goes. Before I was like, I wasn't too sure. And I'm like, I'm not used to, everyone seeing me do certain stuff, but I gave it a try. I made a page, did some videos, posted it up, and I want to say the first two videos they're pretty good. I said, all right, I put like two more up there. I won't promote it. I'll leave it alone. I posted up there, and I want to say by like a Monday I posted it up. By like Wednesday, Thursday, I had like 1 million views, and I was like, okay, people are watching my stuff, they liking it, so I guess I'll just keep going. And there you go.
Now those million views, did they translate into dollar amount?
Well, yeah, I was on X video at the time, and I know when you hit like a certain view, a dollar amount, I'm not really sure which number it translates over that, but yeah, once you like make like a certain amount of certain amount of views, it goes over. Yes.
Okay. Now let me back up a little bit. And let
Mhm.
me ask you this. Okay, now a lot of times, women in the entertainment industry are treated as the women who have daddy issues or been through a lot of trauma or, are just sex addicts or something. Was
Mhm.
that true for your case? Or what were you before you got, well, I mean, not what were you, but what did you do before you got into this industry?
Well, I'm very, very open either way anyway. I don't have any like dad issues. I'm pretty good. I would say myself. But I'm just very, very open. And I say,
Mm.
if I can make money off of doing what I like to do, then why not?
Okay. All right. Now, so you get up, so you make your videos, you put your 3 videos up, they hit a lot of views. So from there, where did you go? Like, what was the next step of you in the business?
Okay. Well, like I said, I took time off. So I say after like maybe at the year posting videos, took time off, I went to school, um, got my stuff. I came back. I want to say when I came back, I shot with probably like one production crew, and then there were little small stuff. I took time off again. I'm sorry, went to school again, and now I'm back in the business. I'm filming again, do production crews and stuff like that. So I'm just mainly just filming a lot now.
Okay. So you took time off to go to school and you came back. What was it that brought you back instead of continuing on the school route? What made you come back to the adult industry?
People kept asking like, "Oh, you still filming? You still in the industry?" I've had like people like big porn stars now, like, "Oh, do you still want to film? Do you want to come back? why did you stop? Like, you was doing really good. And I was like, oh, like I stopped, to go to school, do regular stuff. And I'm trying to, like, I guess inch out. They said, no, like, come back. You was actually doing really, really good when you were in the business. We can bring you back and get more money. Let's give it a try. So I said, all right, I'll try it again. I'll come back, see how it goes, and go from there.
Okay. Now let me ask you this. Okay, so now, like in the early '80s and stuff like that, you look at the down the street, it was all movies. You had to go to the video store,
Mm-hmm.
get videos or buy them and stuff like that. But then fast forward 10, 20 years, it's the internet. People can just like don't have to work with a major studio. They can just film stuff in their own house and put it up and have a million views. So with
Mm-hmm.
that being said, is your goal to continue to work like on an independent basis, or do you have a plan to work with some of the major studios that the few that are still left around?
I mean, honestly, or when I first started on top of my own on a production crew, like film crew, and I wanted to actually keep doing that because I like having money in my pocket. I want to actually keep it in house. So with me having, keep it on my own, I make my own money. It's not going out nowhere. I will do like probably like stuff here and there, like the big stuff, but no, I just want to keep it more to myself.
Okay, okay. And now have you now I also heard like there's a lot of racism in the industry as far as the big companies they only want to work with a limited number of black women. Then when they do, the pay is the same, stuff like that. Have you encountered that the few times you work with big companies?
Well, no, I only shot one time with a big company, but I did have offers from other ones. But I haven't really had like any like no like any bad feelings or none of that. So, thank God.
All right. Now let me move into a few provocative questions because I got some questions that people want me to ask when I put out that I was going to be interviewing you. So here goes. Okay, so one question was when you're filming, a sex scene, how much of it is acting when you're doing all the moaning and groaning? And how much of that is like you're really actually enjoying it?
Okay, well, me, I film, I guess, like more amateur porn. So a
Mhm.
lot of my stuff actual is like, the real deal. I don't really like faking it because a lot of my not clients, a lot of my fans who do see my stuff, they like the real, raw, uncut stuff about me. So I try to keep it like authentic as possible. So when it comes to my actual filming, it's whatever you see is 100% real. There's no faking. There's like like no extra stuff. And then when I have filmed with gaggers, that was like I didn't really fake it. I more faked, I guess. I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I'm sorry. I more faked, I guess, me not liking it,
Mhm.
but overall it was 100% real.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna get back to Gaggers in a second. I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, the second question I have is when you're filming, like how long does an actual scene take? People may watch a video, maybe a 15-minute video that they watch, but how long does that 15-minute video take to make?
I'm sorry. Hold on. Kept getting phone calls, but honestly, it's like it's broken up. And when you see it's more like it's in snippets and stuff like
Mhm,
that. So it's like let's say you have like a certain scene, you'll film the first part,
mhm,
have together, then you stop, do a little break, and then go to the next scene. You do that, snip it out. So I would say honestly, an hour film could be like cut into like like small intervals and stuff like that.
mhm. Okay, okay. And the third question, have you ever climaxed while filming a scene?
My stuff, yeah, a lot of my stuff I film like people like I do know or I have a whole relationship with.
Mhm.
So definitely on my half.
Okay. All right. And then I guess the follow-up a piggyback question to that one is, so do you actually are there times when well I guess what they say? Okay. They say do you find that you enjoy it more of a higher percent of the time you enjoy it more or a higher percent of the time it's kind of just going with the motion?
Honestly, I mean, I enjoy. Like I said, I like what I do. I love what I do. So I try, like enjoy it best possible. If I don't enjoy it, I'm not gonna film with you. I'm gonna stop
Okay.
because I want to have it like authentic as possible for me. I don't want and like faking it. I don't want like no nothing out of order. Like I've seen some before. You can tell they're faking it. And
Mhm.
me, I hate that. I feel like I want to actually sell you a story. So I want you to feel like it's happening for real, for real. So if I can't really enjoy myself, I can't do it.
Okay, okay. And this last question he have, okay, has there ever been a time when you were filming with someone and after all the cameras and everything was down, that you and the person wouldn't get it on for real?
I'm trying to see. Well, yeah, cause like I said, I do a lot of like amateur film work. So like guys I do film with, I know them for real. Like that's like personal. So it was like it's a bunch of time like what I still get together and like we'll do little stuff here and there. We'll
Mhm.
film and like we'll stop, have personal time. We'll come back and we'll film. So I probably said like 10 and 10. Yeah.
Okay, okay. All right. All right. So now I want to get back to the Ghetto Gaggers because that's like a real controversial, thing out here. So let's
hmm
start. How did you first become acquainted with them?
Okay, so like I was saying before, my old manager, he had actually put me on because I came back and he met me and said, look, you have their niche. Let's try it out. Let's see. Because before I was like kind of like about it because I guess they're like sort of like a bad name industry. I don't understand why. But I said, you know what? I'll try it. They're paying good money. That's my only offer right now. I'll try it. So I came to him. I took pictures. Gave it to them. They said, we like her. Bring her in. So I came through, did that, and they had sent me a ride to come through there. I came through the little interview process. It's like, it's going to happen. You want to do this, you want to do that. If you don't like it at any time, you can say stop. I said, okay. So after that, I got dressed, the interview, I would say it lasted about like maybe the overall process was like hour and a half, probably two. And then after that, I got dressed, I got paid, and then that was it.
Okay. So now, so before you film with them, had you ever watched any of their content before?
I knew of them. I haven't really watched a full on scene, but I did know exactly who they were because funny fact, they were based out in my area before they had moved. So I did
Okay.
know a small amount about them. I didn't really actually watch the full on, but I remember like the whole like I guess what I had to do, nobody ready.
Okay. And so you mentioned that they asked you, would you do this now? So did they go like item by item saying, will you, take anal? Will you let us gag? Can we hit you, spit on you? Did they actually ask you all those things?
Okay, well, yeah, I guess so. To give like a little breakdown, usually when you do get booked for a shoot, they give your manager, like I guess like a whole like she has to do X, Y, and Z, da da da. So they gave him the okay, King's man. So you want to do? You okay with the anal? You okay with this? You okay with that? And I go like the whole little checklist, and they go down and I go yes or no. I give my guesses, and that was it.
And then when you film, did they do anything to you that you didn't initially sign off for?
No, because that's the whole thing. Like they usually give you have to like agree to stuff beforehand. So whatever you've agreed to beforehand, that's it. They can't add anything extra or take anything off after that.
Okay. Now you mentioned that you don't understand why they have a bad name. Now, now when I've done research on them, like a lot of people, models who have worked with them before, said they likened it to akin to being raped because they said sometimes they couldn't say their code word because they was too busy, having something, gagged down their throat, and the way the men would hit them. Like one lady said, she came to work and people thought she had been beat up because she had so many bruises on her after the shoot. And
Um,
just the grading is like, racist and stuff like that. So you didn't experience any of that doing your work with them?
no, okay, I'll say this. I would have to say, I guess anybody who has had a problem with them after that, on my point of view, I would say it's because I guess whatever happened with their view, even with that, it's literally it's all an act, all an act. It's not that hard. Not like like they ask you, "What's your limit? Are you okay?" Even with me, we had a scene. We stopped. Are you okay? Are you all right? Do you want to stop? Are we going too hard? Should we go softer? Should we go harder? Like, what's your limit? Are you okay? I gave him like my numbers. Let him know. Go on. And even with that, it's more like it's like all stage work. Like they're not hitting you that hard, not thrusting that hard. It's more like noises, grunting, and facial expressions. So it's like honestly, it's not that bad. That's why I'm like, if girls are complaining after the fact, maybe because you didn't voice certain things, or I guess your manager didn't like, I guess, fully break it down to you. Because my person told me beforehand, you want to do this, you're going to do that. This is how it's going to go. Are you okay with that? Yes or no? Let me know now before I give them the okay. And I said, I'm okay with that. I'm all right. I can take it. I'm fine. And let's go. So it's like if you're having certain problems because you didn't communicate somewhere.
Okay, okay. And now a couple of, again, a couple of questions that people want me to ask. Some of them are pretty provocative, so feel free to answer or not answer.
I'm fine with
But
open
one
book. Right
one
ahead.
question is, okay, given the history of how during slavery and Jim Crow, black women were often, were raped by white men and stuff like that, and this is kind
Mhm.
of what's portrayed in Ghetto Gaggers. Do you feel bad about that as a black woman?
Not really, only because the guys on set, they were so sweet to me. They were so nice. Like it was one guy, I think bootleg I want to say.
Mhm.
He's the main one, I guess, making it look so hard. But even after he stopped, he came to me like, "Are you okay? Are you all right? Am I going too hard? Do you need some water?"
Mhm.
He was like, they were all very, very nice on set. I will honestly say they don't script anything. Like I didn't feel uncomfortable. I wasn't upset. Literally, it's all like an act for them. So I was good.
Okay. And another question is, okay, now after the shooting, the official shooting stopped, did they try to pressure you to have sex with them afterwards, just casual sex in the studio with them?
Mm-mm. No, I will say honestly, like when it's more like on the actual like set, it's
Mhm.
strict business. It's not no extra stuff. It's not no, hey, like, let me like da 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 da. No, it's strictly business. You come here, do that, and that's it. The most they did was they gave me some food, they gave me some water, and then took me home. And that was it.
Okay. And third, okay, now what's the pay range that they pay? And then is the pay that they give, is it based upon if you do X, Y, and Z, you get more money. If you don't do this, you get less money. How does the pay work with them?
Yeah, so basically, you get paid for like whatever you do. So let's say in my book, I did everything that I could do, so I got paid the highest I could get. Now, let's say if it's a girl who didn't want to do what I did. Let's say like she's okay with the anal, but she's not good with the slapping. Because the main thing they want to get is that last cum shot scene and the pouring of the actual bowl on your face. That's what they actually do want to actually get. So if you don't agree to that and don't want to get that, of course you're not going to get paid by the money. But the more you get, the more you get paid.
Okay. And is it true that they, before shooting and even sometimes doing shooting, they will give you a lot of food or stuff like ensure to drink to make sure that you throw up?
Okay, so yeah, so basically, it's like a it's like Ensure. It's like Ensure and water, but they pour it in a cup, and I have to like drink the whole cup before I shoot. So like when you throwing it up, it's like that little mix they making you. I have to do like 2 cups before every shoot. So it's like as soon as I stop, all right, here's a cup, drink it. Here's a cup, drink it. You okay? All right, we can start.
Okay. And how many times have you filmed with them and would you do it again? Why or why not?
So far I only did one time, but I definitely would love to come back. I enjoyed it because, like what I said before, they really was like they were so sweet from the assistants to the manager, to the crew people. They were all like really, really nice. I felt comfortable. I felt okay. They really catered to me. And I was like, yeah, they said, look, you did so good. You can come back whenever you want to. So it's like, I'm actually am working now to get back with them, hopefully very, very soon. But yeah.
Okay. And what name is your video under with them?
Um, I think it's like, I really forgot. I have to probably send it to you so you can actually like put it under there. I forgot what it's called. But I saw it yesterday. I know it's something with anal in it. I want to say.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
And last question, this is just like a speculative question before we move on. What do you think, just having worked with them and combine that with everything you've heard about them, what do you think is their motivation for making movies like that? It's like, is it just a fetish that they have? They can make money off of it, or is it them? They know people out there who fantasize, fantasy slave rape, and they're trying to cater to that market. Like, what do you think possesses people to make content like this?
I was like before, it's a really, 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 really high paid niche. Like I never knew exactly like how I guess like in demand that niche was until after the fact. But even with that, I still I get bookings like even outside of that, asking for that. And companies pay a lot of money for that. So I was like, okay, now I'm seeing like I guess like the dominance, like the whole like the role play of it, the rough play, the CNC part of it is really, really in demand. So I said, okay, they're catering to that, so why not?
Okay, okay. All right. So next thing I want to ask you about, okay, so what's your like 5 year plan? Like, like, or guess how I asked you, 5 years from now, where do you see yourself at in this business? Or do you even see yourself still in this business?
That's a tricky one because I don't know. Probably the next 5 years. Hmm. I want to be more like behind the camera. I don't really mind, like being in front of me because I like it. I love getting cute. I love filming, but I mainly want to be
Oh
behind.
my, oh no, no, go ahead, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I want to do more like behind work, like it's like the filming. What my main goal is, I want to have an actual like woman graded more like actual production crew. So I want to have like girl photographers, girl videographers, like a whole like female team, and I want to cater more to like I guess like female based porn. So hopefully
Mm,
next 5 years I doing towards that.
okay. And then if there's say a young girl, out there want to get in this business, what's the best route would you recommend them go? Would you recommend them trying to get with the studio, or would you recommend them trying to do it more so themselves, or start off on OnlyFans? How would they break into this business? You see as best way.
I would say honestly, do your research. Do your research. You just like actually like look into every little thing. Lucky enough, when I started out, I had it's a guy out here called Nasty Montana, and he actually had put me on to certain stuff. He was like kind of big in the business too out here in Jersey. So I would say like do your research. I guess like link up with like other up and coming amateur girls or guys who doing certain stuff. I guess like make your own little team, but do everything yourself. Like if you
Okay.
can manage yourself, do it yourself because you want to try and keep all money possible. And if you really have to get a manager, like I said before, just really like actually do your research. Because before I got my last manager, I had a guy before, he completely fucked me over. Like it was horrible. And that's why I too often did stop before. But when I came back and my other guy from before, he taught me right, he showed me the right stuff, gave me the right path. So I would say girls like really like actually sit and really actually do your research. And even with that, if you want to actually be in the business, me, I did it wrong. I more have my face up front. I would say try and conceal yourself best as possible because some girls do it for fast money, want to work. Jobs can always, find certain things. So trying to like conceal your face as much as possible. Don't show yourself. Be real discreet. Go from there and just build up.
Can you actually do that in the industry? Not show your face?
Hmm.
Oh,
A lot
okay.
of girls who honestly, with that too, I found out when you conceal yourself, you become, I guess, like more like in demand because no one knows who you are. So like the whole like it's that mystery allure to it. Plus, it's like the whole I forgot what it's called though. It's also a kink too. But I found out if you conceal yourself best as possible, and then show yourself later on, you get more money.
Okay. So have you ever had any instances where like a job or somewhere, kind of discriminate against you because of having been in this business?
Um, I mean, if a job has seen my stuff, I don't know because it just never really came up. But I would say I'm pretty sure it has. Like before, I would apply for jobs, and I have a good resume. I have good credentials. I have like a lot of stuff to show for myself, and I won't get no call back. So I'm like, all right, they found something. It's cool. Like it's going to come up eventually because I'm not hiding myself. You can tell who I am from looking at me and stuff like that. So it comes and
Okay.
goes sometimes.
So just a couple more questions as we wrap up.
Hmm.
So now, in addition to movies, do you do any of the social platforms like OnlyFans and Fansly and stuff like that?
Okay. Well, I'm going to give the viewers a whole, like crackdown of OnlyFans. I do not like OnlyFans at all.
Okay.
And here's why. Only because they changed their guidelines so much. I want to say when I first started out, when it first came out, I was doing good because they went with like actually on it too much. But I think after their latest lawsuit, they changed so much, and I lost about like half my category because now, well, I'm glad it's a good thing now, but also it hurts you sometimes. You have to have, I think, a release form. You have to have the person tagged on your page, and that person has to have an OnlyFans account to be on your page as well. And with that, like my guys, they're like the amateur guys, so they can't make accounts for certain reasons. So I've lost about like so much money. I've lost like a lot of like of my category, or because I can't really post anymore. So I would say the best sites to use, probably like Snapchat. With that, you could still have it discreetly, but still keep money in your pocket. You could sell it yourself, make your own websites. I heard also, what was that? Fans is also good, and I think it's either for my fans or I fans, something like that. That's also good. And then you can also stick with either like Pornhub or X videos. So even with that, if you make good views, they'll still start paying you for certain stuff as well.
Okay. All right. So last thing, where can people out there find you? If people want to watch your content, where's outlets that have your content?
Okay, well, if you guys want to see more of me, you guys can also search me up on the internet. That's Mz.Spitqueen, MZ or Mz.Spitqueen. And then also, I have my own podcast as well. So you guys want to see more of me on that. It's called Smoke This Over with Bobby Lucas. You guys can also see more of that on my Twitter page. But if you guys type in my name, I'm gonna have all my links on the top page. You can click on that, and that goes to my social media as far as my Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. So you guys can actually search it up on Google. But I would say to see more of myself frequently, go to my Twitter and my Snapchat.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I appreciate. Well, that was a lot of information you put out there. I really appreciate that. You taking
Thank
time
you
out
for
your busy
having
schedule
me.
to come on my platform. So, any last closing words to the audience, listening audience?
I want to say thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it. I like, going out there on different platforms as well. As far as the people who are watching, thank you. um, Also, if you guys want to see me, I will be at Exotica, October 24th to the 26th over in Edison, New Jersey. Again, I'm have information on my Twitter as far as that. Again, I guess thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it. And
You're very welcome. Okay, there you have it, YouTube. Another edition of PNG Media News. I thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Until next time, take care.
bye.